Brothers and sisters, welcome to episode 33 of the Lost Context Podcast. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the faithful members of our congregation, beginning with Alex the Jew.
Hello, I'm here. I'm not a Mormon, as it's been known, but I will faithfully participate in our congregation today.
Mazel tov. Tim the Atheist.
I'm here with my faithful companion, the puppy Manly Brian. I've smeared some peanut butter on my balls, and I'm ready for a great podcast.
And last we have Chris the Trucker.
Can that not be my nickname? I don't like that.
What do you want it to be?
I love how pedantic we get for intros whenever somebody else besides Brian is hosting. If it was Brian, we would just make fart noises into the microphone, but anybody else hosts and we just turn into fucking just pure pedantry, like, well, actually, I'd far prefer if you just called me Big Dick Chris, but I guess Chris the Truckle will do.
Okay, Brian, we're cutting all of that. I'm just going to go...
Not, God damn it, Wesley. You have no
and
control over this.
am Bishop Wes. Amen. I pray for the wicked
Hail
on the weekend.
Satan!
Well, Wesley, if you're the bishop, then Brian's kind of like the retarded pope. So, I mean,
He's
I feel like
the altar boy that gets molested.
Wow.
Dude, that could save Catholicism if they got a retarded pope. Because there's no way he could actually do anything evil, because retarded people are all actually saints. And I think it would probably be the best thing that could happen to that religion.
Are you saying Brian should be the pope?
Well, no, he can't because he's gay.
Oh, right.
As if that stopped their clergy. I was going to do like the James Brown music, and it was going to be beautiful.
We can't afford James Brown music.
Wesley, James Brown music costs like...
That's
James Brown music. Tim, we're going to get a copyright strike for that, so...
Oh, I fucking hope so.
Mm.
Just like you got a copyright strike for your beautiful renditions of... no, I can't remember what you were singing.
Pony by Genuine.
Oh, yeah, that was...
I wouldn't worry too much about the copyright strikes. I'm more worried about the lightning strikes that we'll all receive.
Oh, I'm worried about it daily. Okay,
Wait,
so...
is that because Voldemort is going to kill our parents, but their love is going to save us?
On with the show.
I refuse. I'm holding the show hostage in the intro.
I am happy to announce that we have a special guest appearing at the end of the show, so make sure to stay tuned. And now...
There's nothing to stay tuned to, because we're going to stay in the intro of the show for the rest of the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Bishop, Wesley Sullivan!
Thank you. So as I mentioned, we have a special guest, and I'd like to give a minute for Chris to plug the D&D show and Tim to plug our Patreon, if you would, please.
Okay, so on Thursdays, actually every other Thursday, it would be really nice if we could do it every Thursday, just like hint, hint, nudge, nudge with the elbow, Brian. If our D&D show could come out every Thursday, seeing that we have so many episodes backlogged already. But we have a D&D show that we do, and it's a lot of fun. And mainly it's just me and Brian, and now Wesley pretty soon, trying to mess up Tim's plans as he tries to kill us. And it's really cool. It's called LCP D&D, and in our current campaign we're in Fillmore's Crossing, and it's like a Old West shoot 'em up mixed with Boston accents and magic and shit, because that happened back then. So listen to it.
Hey, Chris, you talking about Boston accents? Cause I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm from Boston. So how do you mother for me?
Well, technically, it's not like a Boston accent. It's more of a Fopwat, which is like a fantasy Boston, which is kind of like fantasy football, except in no way, shape, or form.
With a lot less Catholics, thankfully.
Hey, Wes. What do you got against Catholics like me, Mark Wahlberg? I'm a good Catholic.
Okay, I can't fight you there.
It's good that you don't fight Mark Wahlberg because he's actually very good at fighting, especially Asians.
I fought with the Transformers in Transformers 4. It was a hell of a time. I could get them to beat you up.
Tim, the Patreon.
It's www.patreon.com/big anime titties. That's BIGANIMETIDDIES.
If only we could have the Patreon following of Big Anime Titties. Holy shit, we would. I would not be having to drive a truck anymore. That is for sure.
Guys, I got good news for you. So I just typed in patreon.com/big anime titties, and there's no one who has the domain. So I mean, I'm just saying, if we want to get on some kind of business opportunity here, now's the time.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair point there, Mr. Insdorf.
Well, we'll save Patreon for the end of the show. I'd like to open up topics. Who brought a topic and who wants to start first?
I'm going to venture to guess that nobody brought a topic because nobody ever
I told
does.
you to bring a topic.
Well, I brought a topic, but I think Wes brought a topic that's better than mine, so I think Wes should go first.
You Jewish son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my topic is I want all of us to confess something that we do which is really weird. And you admit to it.
Okay.
I mean, one thing that we all do that's pretty weird is this fucking show.
True. That's very weird.
Something that the public is not aware of.
Well, I know one weird thing that Tim does. He dropped his audio out, so he can't hear us, and he's trying to reboot his computer right now. But I found out recently, Tim shoves his big, gangly, weird fucking toe into women's vaginas.
His monkey toe?
Yep.
Oh.
He has a toe that's straight up out of fucking George of the Jungle. It's, like, insane. Apparently he can pick up tennis balls with it. And, yeah, it's like there's a good probably 3 inches of gap between his big toe and his next biggest toe, which is, ironically, longer than his big toe.
Well, the thing that concerns me is what kind of angle is he going to put that big toe inside a vagina? Because that can't be comfortable for her or him, right?
I'd assume that he curls his other toes back and then inserts the larger toe. I mean, I can't speak for Tim, and I don't want to speak for his, sexual fantasies, but that would be how I assume you do it.
I see. Well, sadly, Mrs. Demuse is not available, so that will have to be a mystery for now.
We should get her on the show.
Alex, what's something you do that's really, really weird?
I take really long showers.
Like how long?
Masturbation purposes?
I don't know. I take like a good 50-minute shower.
That's not bad.
I don't know if it's bad, but people do get on me for that. Other weird things I do might include sometimes I don't own any bathing suits, so I just use shorts to swim.
I mean, granted, there's so little difference. Like, I think that, like, really the bathing suit industry is just a front for that weird mesh netting that they put inside it.
That mesh netting hurts, man. I'm gonna be honest. It
does.
It really fumbles my grundle. All right, and I have a problem with it.
You know what I'm thinking? What the actual use of that mesh netting is?
What do you think it is?
Well, at the Foxconn factories in China, they've had a lot of suicides from factory workers jumping off the roofs, and they had to put nets up to prevent that. I'm guessing they're using that mesh.
So when they retire the suicide netting, they just kind of bleach it out and clean it and then put it back into swimsuits that they sell here in America?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Get Alex Jones on this right now.
Get Alex Instorf on this right now. Alex Jones is heading out. We need to prop up our new, crazy...
I mean, listen, The Jew and the Shrew is all about investigative journalism. So, I mean...
Exactly.
We could certainly look into that on my show.
Alright. Well, book a flight to China and find out.
See, here's the thing. I got about $30 in my banking account right now. And so I don't know if that's enough for a flight to China. Maybe on Spirit Airlines or something.
Yeah.
I've heard that Southwest is pretty cheap. Does it go out there?
I would doubt it. I don't think it's international. Is it?
I don't know. I've only flown in a plane 3 times, so...
I've only flown Southwest, and they're usually quite small planes, so I imagine it's mostly domestic for them.
I'm wondering if this is a Discord thing, or is somebody flying in a jetpack right now, because every 2 seconds it sounds like somebody is having a ridiculous amount of wind noise.
Is someone near a fan or moving their mic?
Hey everybody, friend of the show here, Bur from Bursis. I'm taking Tim's place while he's gone. Alex, what the fuck are you doing?
What? What am I doing?
It's Alex's mic? Yeah. Oh, of course it is.
Get off the jet,
mic?
bro.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, maybe I was shaking my legs under my computer. That might be what it was.
Oh, man. It's still doing it.
I'm not doing anything anymore.
Is this one of your times where you're recording while you're walking alone around a basketball court?
No, I'm in my room on my computer.
Well, anyways, one of the weird things I do, I like kind of odd combinations of food that some people wouldn't like, and I'm also just really lazy when it comes to making food. So sometimes when I get the craving to fill my belly and there's just no easily made food around, I'll just take a piece of American cheese and put it in the center of a flour tortilla, and then just fold the tortilla around the cheese until it's square, and then just eat
I've heard you talk about this.
You don't even melt it? You don't melt the cheese?
I mean, this is so much quicker than that.
This is like something a 6-year-old would make.
I have been doing it since that time,
This is like a retarded 6-year-old would make.
When I was
finally, people that get me.
When I was a fat kid, every day for breakfast, I would have a bagel with a bunch of shredded cheese on top, and I would melt it.
I swear, dude.
That would be my breakfast.
Maybe.
I really hope this isn't making it into your actual audio recording, because we will just fucking cut you right out of the show.
Cut Alex's mic and see if it continues.
All right, I'm gonna cut in and join back in. All right, is it still continuing?
Oh, Tim's back, everybody.
I don't hear what you guys are actually talking about.
And I'm still having you guys cut in and out. Awesome.
I don't hear what you guys are actually talking about in terms of the audio. It's definitely
Where's your
not showing
Mormon
up.
God now, Wesley?
I don't know.
He has forsaken you for doing this god-awful show.
Joseph Smith, why?
You guys still hear anything?
Alex, cut your mic.
Wes, I don't have a mic.
Oh my. Good.
Wes, it's literally my headphones.
It sounds like it's recording from the inside of your mouth.
It sounds like you're in an airplane hangar.
I've literally never had this problem before, so it seems like a you problem, Wesley. Alright, wait, let me see what's going on.
It sounds like that one video that Brian shared of all the fireworks going off all at once.
I'm
I don't know
dying.
what's up.
This is the worst episode ever.
I think the banter's alright, it's just that is god-awful.
There, it's fixed. Now, let's
You
continue.
just banned him.
I kicked him.
Oh man, makes you long for the days of him pissing on the stream.
Can we get Tim back?
I imagine he'll be back.
Or is this really shit show central?
She sells shit shows on the seashore.
Yes. Brian, what's something weird that you do?
I have a lot of...
That is going to be a long list.
It really is. I talk to myself. When nobody's in the room, I'll talk to myself. When I was a kid, I used to have a whole gang. You know, people have imaginary friends. Well, I had a whole imaginary gang. And,
oh my hell.
They used to rob stores and shit.
And, well, it was a wholesome game to some degree, because I grew up on 1950s movies, so it was like, you know, I had the Little Rascals and stuff. So my gang, like, there was some cool guys. Like, anytime I ever did anything smart, I would attribute it to this guy named Brains. And then anytime, like, if I got a cool idea, sometimes there was this kid named Ryan that was up and coming, and he was pretty cool. But then anytime I got a bad idea, I would say that it was from this loser named Rice. Like, I blamed all my shit on him.
He was the scapegoat.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody hated him.
Did your parents know about these friends?
No, this was all completely in my head or when I was alone. And
okay.
I basically attributed all of my talking to myself. I just talked to them. And then the other weird thing I did when I was a kid is kids are always scared of monsters under the bed. And it was right when I was about that age. It was right around the time when the Power Rangers were out. And you know how on the Power Rangers episodes, every time there was a new episode, the scientists would create a new monster to fight them. So I imagined under my bed there's this whole laboratory going on, and the scientist was creating new monsters, and they'd come out. And there were some rules. The rule is if they kill me when I'm awake, I die. But if they kill me when I'm asleep, they all die. So they had to be careful, because if my eyes were open, I might see them, so they'd have to run away. But if my eyes were closed, I might be asleep, and they wouldn't want to risk it. So it was that was my self-defense mechanism for why I wasn't afraid of the monsters under my bed.
So now when you talk to yourself, you just blurt out thoughts, or is it like a conversation?
It's kind of it's blurting out thoughts, but I don't know. It's a little bit more restrained. It's not as split personality as it used to be. What else do I do that's weird? I don't know. I talk to my dog stupid, but I think everybody does that.
Yeah, everybody absolutely does that.
Oh, my boy, you special boy, like that?
To some degree.
That, and you'll give your dog a voice that, like, it probably, if it had a real personality, it wouldn't fit at all.
I see. And what's your dog's name? That says a lot about a person.
Well, I didn't name either of my dogs.
Rice.
Rice.
Rice and Ryan.
Here's the unfortunate thing. My wife got an American Eskimo before she married me. And then so once we got married, the dog took a liking to me kind of more so than it did her.
Oh, a dog. Okay.
She was hooking up with an Eskimo.
Wow, yeah, she really likes fire and ice there. American Eskimos and firemen.
So when she left, she ended up leaving me the dog. And so I didn't get to name this dog. She named it Dodge, but I had the unfortunate she named it she nicknamed it Tuggy, or sometimes Woogie. And so that's kind of what he learned to respond to for the most part. So I have to use this stupid, retarded nickname when I talk to him. I mean, he responds to Dodge, but he feels like more friendly and safer, because she would only call him Dodge when he was in trouble. So.
Oh, okay. I see.
And then my
Woogie.
other dog, my dad couldn't keep it in the backyard, and he didn't have time to, care for it. So I kind of adopted her, and he had pre-named her Marley, which is okay. I'm okay with Marley. Sounds
So
good.
when the
Marley
one
and
dog
me?
runs away, do you have to like ride your bike through the neighborhood going toogie woogie, toogie woogie?
Fortunately, he is at my side whether I want him to be or not. He is completely attached. Almost to an annoying degree.
It's a cute dog.
Yeah.
Really cute dog. Oh, it looks like Tim's back with us.
Why'd you guys kick out Alex?
Because he sounded like he was in the middle of 9/11.
It sounded like he was one of those storm correspondents during a hurricane.
So what you're telling me is that you have no respect for 9/11 victims, Wesley. You just kick them off of podcasts and...
It was an
That's
inside
what I'm
job.
getting from this information.
Inside job. Oh no! If you want to add him back, let's see if whatever the problem was fixed itself.
So even though my attempt at not being on this episode failed miserably, I gotta say it was very therapeutic for me to listen to somebody else struggle against Chris and Tim. Where he couldn't even make it past the intro, and the whole episode was already derailed.
Perhaps I took my anger out on Alex.
5 glorious minutes, right?
Yeah, Tim says his internet's just not working at all.
Of course, on my episode.
I'm just concerned about the D&D we record later.
Oh, dude. So, Brian, there's like 25 minutes of me just like singing and being weird while I was like resetting my router and stuff. So, when you're listening and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Brian, you edited the podcast? How's that going? You having fun with that?
You shouldn't have told me. You should have left it in. I'd be so creeped out. To think that Tim's possessed my computer or some shit. Got a poltergeist.
If you listen all the way through the episode, like past the credits, we'll add in all that extra Tim audio.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, dude, you're gonna have a special fun with the random samples of Beach Boys songs that I put in there.
And now Wes is like doing dishes or something.
I'm looking
After
through
we had
a
just
drawer,
booted Alex.
goddammit.
You're the host of the show, and you're like digging through your refrigerator.
It's not the refrigerator. I'm at my desk.
Shouldn't your
I need a Diet Dr. Pepper, Brian. I'm feeling verklempt.
I just opened a Dr. Pepper. It's fine.
shouldn't your wife be the one making the sandwich?
I need to get a slice of cheese and a flour tortilla.
Okay,
I haven't programmed that recipe into my wife yet.
My Stepford wives. So Tim, what's something really weird that you do that the public wouldn't know about?
I mean, I said last night that I pick my toenails instead of using a toenail clippers.
Yeah, but
That's pretty fucking weird and gross.
It's a little weird and gross. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that.
When I was a kid, my favorite thing to do to my sister would be cup a fart, where you like fart into your hand and you can kind of cup the fart and like you can slap it into people's noses and it really does carry the scent for a second. It's really fucking gross.
That's mean.
Cup a fart.
You gonna make us a commercial?
For the cup a fart?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
I should. That would be a good idea.
Hey everyone, this is Ron Fuckledon. Here to tell you about Cup Apart.
Fuckledon Industries.
Well, you see, back in Aught 2 or Aught 3, I was hanging out with my wife, and she cooked me a bad tuna fish sandwich. So I farted into the palm of my hand, and I placed the palm over her nose. And she got a little bit of pink eye, but also a whiff of something great. cup of fart.
All right,
so
cut it, print
to
it.
round
That's
out,
good. What are we rounding up?
I was gonna say the weird thing I do.
Okay.
Before we move on to whatever.
I definitely want to hear
Being
this.
Mormon.
Weighing 300 pounds.
Why don't you do fat jokes more often?
I'm trying.
Step it up. So, I
You
have.
won't be able to do that in a little while, Wesley. Keep gaining weight like that, and you won't be stepping anywhere, boy.
He's all laughing and there's a tear rolling down his cheek.
And a sandwich inserting into his mouth.
It wasn't a tear. It was just standing sweat. When you get large, you get that standing around sweat. Just happens out of nowhere.
It's a good thing I'm medicated because it's finally kicking in. So, I got the S9 Plus a while back, and it's got this huge screen, and I really like it. And the way you arrange the apps is really, really nice. But what I've found myself starting to do would be I'd count how many blue apps I had or how many red apps I have, and I try and keep them all around the same amount for each color. And although I only have 2 purple apps and 2 green ones, a lot of them are just grayscale. But it really makes me happy to see that the color is balanced. And I searched for a long time to find the calendar app that was orange, because the other calendar app was this blue color, and I'm no, I have too many blues. And and what was the other one I looked for?
So, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of pedantry,
I wanted to laugh at it. I just don't know what pedantry is.
Me neither.
Basically,
There's going to be 2 people at home that really liked it, though.
right?
It was good, but it hit me.
I just like that even in apps, Wesley doesn't like the colors to intermingle with each other.
I hadn't even thought of it that way.
He's probably got just one whole page where it's just all the white apps and maybe the one orange one.
Alex is back. Yep.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
All right, well, it wasn't bad in the first place, and I bet you guys are just making
It
stuff
was
up.
bad as hell.
I didn't even do anything. I didn't even restart my computer or anything. I just rejoined the chat, and it's fine now.
It sounded like you were recording from inside a washer.
I wasn't, though.
He was actually just recording inside of an Applebee's around happy hour.
Yeah.
That's just what it
Excuse
sounds
me,
like.
Tim. It was a Chili's.
It sounded like you forgot to hover hand a feminist. No? Okay.
Raspberry urine.
Yeah, no, Brian.
It sounded like 1,000 cup of farts.
Raspberry urine.
So if any of you brought topics like you were supposed to, now's the time.
I brought a topic.
Oh, we were supposed to bring topics? Shit. I just brought all of these t-shirts from Hot Topic.
Oh, I just brought a Bop It.
Twist it.
I brought a topic.
Okay, I'm leaving again. Bye.
Okay, well, thanks, Brian.
We've seized the means of production.
Alright, should I go on my topic, or?
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay. So the Kraft Heinz Company paid a town in Florida $100,000 to change their name from Mayo to Miracle Whip. And they tried to only make this a temporary change, but it's possible that due to how the law is written, they may not be able to change the name back now. And so now, apparently, the taxpayers are very
Do you think
angry.
that OJ Mayo is just kicking himself like, man, if only I would have known about this shit fucking 5 years ago. Fucking Yo J Miracle Whip out there busting threes.
Yeah, I mean, he could have really had a good nickname there. But so the taxpayers are very angry, and but lawmakers say
That was a good topic. I liked it.
It's unlikely that they'll be able to change it. So related to this topic is, what is a name that you would like to change your town's name to?
I mean, the town I live in is already named Gaylord, which I think is funny enough. And so it could literally just stay that, and I would be quite happy.
I would probably call it Collective Tooth.
What does that mean?
Well, because there's like only a certain amount of teeth collectively between all of them.
Oh.
And so, Collective Tooth, yeah. That's a good one.
Well, that just makes it sound like there's only one tooth. But
Well, there is only one tooth. Ever since I left. There used to be 33, but now...
How many teeth do we have?
I don't know. I made up a number on the spot.
I think it's like 24.
I think you were close. I think it is 32. No, I think you're like born with like, you have like 24 kids' teeth, and then you get 32 as an adult.
Is that plus or minus wisdom teeth though?
I think that's including the wisdom teeth.
Well, yeah, because most people get their wisdom teeth like pulled out, so it's probably more like 28.
That's kind of unnatural.
Teeth, though there's still teeth that come in.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're not in the mouth, they don't count.
But they're still in a fucking drawer because my mom saved that shit because she loves me, Alex. So they're still in the county. Okay, shut the fuck up. Pedantry.
Yeah, we aren't going to all.
This episode.
We aren't going to all of a sudden.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
We're not going to all of a sudden like rewrite all the medical textbooks to 202 bones in the adult human body because of that.
I'm just saying, wisdom teeth don't contain any wisdom, so what's the point of having them?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. Like, has society, like, the downfall of society started when we started pulling wisdom teeth?
No. Definitely society got better after that.
Really?
Yeah, I would say collectively, because, not all of our mouths are in severe pain anymore. So I would say that's in general better for society.
I dream of rain and land.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with I Dream a Dream. Damn it. Well...
I'm sorry,
Wesley,
I can't help myself.
Wesley, I'm going to ask, why'd you kick me out?
Because you sounded like a goddamn hurricane in a metal shed, and it was ruining the audio.
Wesley, that seems really offensive to people who own metal sheds and are potential
I own a metal shed.
Dude, Alex, that's the first thing that I said to him when he compared your audio to somebody in the middle of 9/11. Like, oh man, you don't support 9/11 survivors? That's really fucked up, Wesley.
It is, Wesley, honestly, I mean, I know this is one of your first times hosting, but, like, you kind of got to get it together in some of the offensive language here. I mean, seriously.
You're telling me I need to stop being offensive.
Yeah, I'm telling you to stop being offensive.
I have to say.
I've literally never been offensive to anyone, okay?
You're offensive to Palestinians.
I don't do that. My state does that, and so that's that issue.
You are offensive to your fellow Jews. They would definitely like to see you out of the group.
Why would they like to see me out of the group?
Because you're a bad representation for them.
I actually say I'm quite a good representation for them. I go to college. Trying to become a doctor. I feel like that's a good representation. I mean, I'm not gonna be like a garbage guy or something.
What do you got against garbage guys? You just offended all of them.
Well, we don't have many of them in our audience, so I assume that's okay.
Oh, I think we have very many of them.
Members, it's nothing but garbage men.
I mean, there's not many garbage pickup.
See what I did there?
drivers.
There's a double entendre.
You cut out as soon as you made that joke, so I didn't even hear it.
I didn't even hear your joke actually.
I'm sure I will laugh when the actual episode comes out, and I do finally hear it.
Where the hood at? Have them neighbors in the cut, where the wood at? All these neighbors acting up.
Where the hood at?
I'd like to address something Brian did today, which is he was out on a stroll taking pictures. And,
no, that was Photoshop.
Was it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, anyway. So he took one picture for his personal Instagram story and was like, haha, I'm out of the house today. What's up? I'm not going grocery shopping. And then, on his LCP, Lost Context Podcast Instagram feed, he used the N-word to describe his daily activities.
God
and
damn it.
I feel that that's something that should be addressed.
Well,
I didn't think that was real. I thought you were just posting that to make fun of him.
No, that was a real thing.
We suspended him from the podcast at least for one episode. And
we're giving him a little slap on the wrist.
He got the Urban Meyer treatment.
Like Urban Meyer. God damn it!
Are we talking about Urban Brian? Urban Breyer?
So, next topic, I guess?
I got a topic for you guys. If you were stranded on an island and you could only bring one movie to the island to watch for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's a tough one.
And no, I definitely did not get that from an episode of The Office.
I would have to go with Tugrats, the remake of Rugrats, but with adult actors and actresses. So that's a good one.
Tugging their pud, right?
Yes, yep. There we go.
See, Tim gave me a lesson in tugging my pud last night. Well,
Oh my
not
god,
literally.
I did not. What?
Not literally.
Brian, clip that out. Beginning of the show, please.
God damn it, if you clip that out, I'm quitting.
Oh shit!
I just wanted to come back real quick because I had to laugh. Okay, bye.
All right, so Tim or Brian, clip that out and put that out at the beginning of the show, please.
I'm sure they will.
You didn't have to say that, Alex. You already knew that shit was gonna happen.
I knew. Unfortunately, Wesley said something about sucking toes yesterday, and that we didn't.
I said nothing about sucking toes.
Well, now you said something about sucking toes.
Well, I made a comment about my honeymoon earlier, and I'm hoping nobody was recording it. So, I think we hadn't started recording. No, we had.
Oh, so, alright, that reminds me, there was a story I saw yesterday where apparently a newlywed Chinese couple, and I mean, I use the term newlywed sort of loosely because the story goes on for about 4 years. They were unable to conceive for 4 years of their marriage. And then after they go to see a fertility doctor, they find out they had been doing the sex wrong. And, like, they had been doing it anally for 4 years, and then, like, they find out, oh, you're supposed to do it the other way to have a baby. So, like, pretty much, I mean, the guy had to know. I mean, come on. Let's not kid ourselves.
I mean, but what if he didn't, though? Like, how old were they?
I think early 20s.
I mean, it's possible they just received bad sexual education.
Where the fucking baby maker at?
I have an idea. What if they have the same sex ed course from the same school Brian went to?
Oh, where he just wakes up in the middle of the night to his teacher touching him?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely.
I think if they went to that same education course that Brian went to, I don't think they would know how to have sex at all. So I think it would be a larger problem than what this couple's having.
So,
yeah, that topic didn't really float as far as I thought it did.
So John McCain died.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, like, yeah, John McCain died, and that in itself is pretty funny, because, I mean, like, probably the worst person in the Senate died of brain cancer over a long period of time, so that's just rich. And like,
Wesley, what are your thoughts on John McCain?
I mean, I didn't really like him. I didn't really hate him. I disliked how Trump treated him, but I mean, I dislike most of what Trump does. So, as a man, just in his personal bullshit. But I mean, I knew the John McCain memes were coming, and a fair amount of them have been pretty good.
Wesley, if you took on Trump one-on-one boxing match, who do you think would win?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's...
The real question is whether or not Wesley would be willing to take up jogging for even a week beforehand. Because if the answer is yes, he would kick the shit out of Trump. If the answer is no, they would both just wheeze at each other for about 20 minutes after throwing exactly 3 punches, all of which would whiff.
well, here's
Could
the
I
thing.
just-
Like, is it bare knuckle or are they wearing gloves? Because I think bare knuckle, I think Trump has the advantage because of his little hands, and little hands fucking hurt.
I think I would say the gloves on. Like it's full on, like a legit boxing match. Like, and that would also mean no body slamming, no UFC moves. Like, this has to be a completely clean fight. But
So you're saying I can't thrust all 300 pounds of my weight into a 70-year-old man?
Well, that 70-year-old man also probably weighs like 300 pounds. So, I mean, I don't know how effective it would be, other than the fact that his bones might be more brittle.
Well, I think that
but
Wesley
he's
has a
definitely-
big advantage because he's punching his arm up cows' asses all day.
I mean, I'm not super strong, but I'm by no means weak either.
Do you think
I mean,
if you took Trump and Wesley, and let's say they just tried to body slam each other at the same time and their bellies just collided, do you think like the world would experience like a just a collision of like 2 fucking stars colliding in the sky,
Absolutely.
like meteor style?
Absolutely.
I think it might happen.
If Wesley and Trump kiss, like, whose lips would be on top?
Mine
Ooh.
for sure.
I feel like Trump, he's very aggressive.
That is
But
true.
I won't be dominated in a kiss by a non-Mormon man. And I'm not going to be kissing a Mormon man, so I have to have this firm rule.
So wait, are you saying that you wouldn't kiss a Mormon man, but men are still on the table?
Only in this weird scenario.
Okay.
Only
Little
Donald Trump.
That was a
That's
little
all.
suspect, I'll be honest.
Can we get Brian? Can you come in and make a ruling as our resident homosexual?
Well, no.
Dude, Brian's way funnier when he only comes in for a couple seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So far, this episode has been, I think, completely pun-free.
Almost completely pud-free, too, except for Wesley's comment.
That's enough talk about Pud.
Oh, boy.
Tim had to explain what it was to me last night. Anyway, so that's enough for topics. Now, I'd like to... we have a
take
guest.
my pud and wrap it around a pencil like taffy. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing taffy pud.
Followed by using that same pencil for sounding. You have to make sure you
Wesley.
get the right sharpener first, because you gotta have the long sharpen and rather than the short sharpen one.
Wesley, how are your general impressions on a scale of 1 to 10 of how your how one of your first hosting jobs is going so far?
Solid 1. Solid 1.
Better than 0.
I would give you at least a 6.
Well, you know, that's only slightly better than Brian, so I'll take it.
Oh, that's way better than Brian. I give Brian a solid fucking 4 out of 10 every single week.
If I weren't medicated, this would be a lot more painful, so we're good.
Excuse me.
God damn it, Alex!
I'm sorry, I can't control my inhalation
Well,
and my
and
exhalation.
we aren't recording on phones. Brian takes pride in good audio quality.
Well, Brian told me my audio quality was fine, so I don't know what you're, mooing to the cows about over here.
That was too personal. Do not bring my cattle into this.
I'm just saying.
Make fun of my cholesterol count all you want, but don't talk about my cattle.
Okay, enough with the nonsense and the topics. I would like to introduce the esteemed Dr. Jordan Peterson. He's an idol to many young conservatives, and he's a professor and clinical psychologist. Dr. Peterson?
Well, hello there. I wish I could tell you that it was a pleasure to be on, but I've got to admit I've had quite the crisis of faith this week.
Yeah?
Things have been getting quite absurd in my life, and it's been rough. I haven't even cleaned my room in probably 4-5 days.
Oh my hell.
You better wash your penis before you get an ingrown pube.
Well,
very dangerous.
That's one of the weirdest things. I actually got an ingrown toenail on it yesterday, and so now I'm afraid to wash it because it'll just hurt too much.
Dr. Peterson?
Yes?
Would it be alright if I asked a few questions? You could enlighten our guest with the answer, our audience with the answers?
No, I don't think I'd like to do that in an interview. I generally do interviews to talk rather than to answer questions there.
Here's the thing, you Canadian maple syrup slicking old man. You're going to answer the questions. Thank you. So, my first question is, how would you say that cleaning my room improves my character?
Well, like I just said earlier, I'm not sure that cleaning your room serves any point anymore.
Really?
I thought it did for a while, but after what I've heard on all these campuses, I'm really thinking that the youth of these campuses are making a pretty strong point in that I'm starting to kind of move towards the postmodernist direction.
Really? So, you think you're more comfortable with a dirty room now?
Comfortable per se, there are many different ways to be comfortable. Of course, it's definitely more gratifying not spending that kind of energy to really worry about yourself when you could be worrying about all the other people in ways that they just can't worry about themselves.
Hey, Dr. Peterson. I got a question for you.
Oh, Mark, I'm a big fan.
Hey, Mr. Peterson, I got in the shower yesterday, and I
really loved your movie, A Perfect Storm. You guys brought in quite a good many lobsters there, and I really appreciate the care that you took in taking care of those lobsters. I mean, granted, in the last week, I no longer believe in the lobster theory of value.
Speaking of the lobsters...
No. Shut up, Wes. We had
Wes, the big boys are talking here. Please sit down. We'll get to your thing later.
So we had some lobsters in Transformers 4, and I was wondering, do you think that how long do you think the lobsters are gonna live, Mr. Peterson? Because I heard they're an endangered species.
Well, a good Maine lobster, I've heard by my research, can live about 1,000 years.
Hey, Maine, this is Peter Jordanson here, and I just want to say that I'm a little bit offended that you're encroaching on my territory here, Maine. You can't just be talking about the philosophy of dirty like it's just the thing that you're allowed to just steal, Maine. This shit ain't cool. You want to beef, Maine?
I meant no offense by encroaching on your territory there.
Do you have any idea how sandy my balls are, Maine? I haven't washed them in months.
Well, do share.
All right, so in The Departed, one of the things that happened in that movie was that the cops were like backstabbing each other, and I think that Peter Jordanson is actually backstabbing Jordan Peterson here, because he was he kind of was, you know, the imposter of Mr. Peterson originally. So say hi to your mother for me on that one.
Oh, I plan to.
Hey everybody, Ben Shapiro here. I just want to say, this is epic.
Well, I'm glad you came on, Ben. I've been meaning to tell you, I'm sorry that I didn't come onto your show first to speak out about my recent change of mind on a lot of these matters. Boy,
So
my
Wesley,
voice
Wesley,
has been going through some trouble here.
I gotta talk to Wesley here for a minute, okay? So we've been thinking for a while. All right, we want to make a remake of the Chris Farley movie. The one where he plays the fat black belt man. And so we were thinking that we could get Wesley to play Chris Farley's role, and so I want to offer this opportunity to him right now. Wesley,
Can you pitch it to Wesley while I sing "Walking on Sunshine" in the background?
You know what? I think that would be a wonderful idea, Chris. And so say hi to your mother for me on that one. And so I think that in general, what we're thinking here is I think Wesley would play a Transformer, and the Transformer would be named Chris Farley, because the Transformer is actually Chris Farley's son.
All right now, and don't it feel good?
That's all I got on the movie so far. It's still in the early development process. I just need to know if he'd be willing to play a fat man, because we really need a good one of those. Because Jonah Hill's not fat anymore, so...
Oh,
yeah, I agree. I really think it is important that the people who play roles in movies are the things that they're playing, like in real life. Because lately there's been a sort of appropriation problem with Hollywood, where they've been, casting people like Scarlett Johansson to play people that she isn't, and that just goes right in the face of acting as an institution. I mean, acting is supposed to be being exactly who you are in front of other people.
Guys, I think we pissed off Wesley.
Oh, we 100% pissed off Wesley.
I didn't realize that he left. I hadn't had my Discord open to see.
So, Wesley, this is Mark Wahlberg again. I didn't mean to call you fat. I was just saying you would look good as a rotund character in my movie.
Well, I told him to expect some curveballs, and I, Jordan B. Peterson, have some very curvy balls.
And I can tell you, Wesley, that kid's got a lot of curves.
Rootin' tootin' doo doo doo. Whoa! And don't it feel good? Hey!
Should I take over as host of the show?
Well, I got a subject now. Now that we ran Wesley off.
Now that I'm the host, Chris, you can go on your topic.
Okay, so recently there was a shooting over a video game in Florida, which was I think they were playing Madden 19, and which has left us all sad in 19. And I was just wondering, for all of you guys, which video game do you think, if you were gonna go on a shooting rampage, would be the thing that would set you off?
Cuphead. Definitely Cuphead. When I was playing that earlier this year, holy fucking shit. Like, every single time that I would go onto, like, side quest or something and be like, hey, does somebody want to give me some fucking tips on how to beat this boss? And all it would be is just, get good, get good, get good. I'm like, man.
Oh, that sounds awful.
If there was ever a fucking game that made me want to go on a shooting spree, it would probably be Cuphead. I'm sure there was stuff before that, but that's the thing that definitely comes into my mind in 2018 for sure.
That was the one with the really unique art style. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, for me, I think it would have to be something old school. I haven't, played a lot of new games or anything, but gosh, I think like the old school Mario, like literally was the most rage infuriating fucking thing that I've ever had. Like, between Mario 1 and Mario 3, good fucking lord, that shit would piss me off.
There is a Nintendo Wii game that I played back in 2008 when I was a kid. It is called Garfield: The Threat of Space Lasagna. It is a very terrible game. And so it is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played. So the motion controls don't even work for 90% of the game, and the whole objective of the game is to get Garfield to eat a space lasagna monster, and it's just really terribly animated, and I would not recommend that game to anyone.
See, imagine if that had been the tournament that had been going on in Florida instead of
I think
Madden.
that would have been funnier.
Oh, it would have been a lot funnier. But, like, how would the newscasters that have to try to take it seriously, how would they keep a straight face?
Today, our nation has experienced a great tragedy down in Jacksonville, Florida. There's been a shooting over the Garfield Threat of Space Lasagna video game. This is Space Lasagna, mind you, not Madden 19. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of the lasagna murder. And yeah, that's about it for this news broadcast.
I could imagine Jorge going on a shooting rampage over Amy on PS3.
Inside jokes.
So,
no
what
one
about-
will get.
So what about you, Wes? Is there any video game that, like, really would tip you over into shooting gallery territory?
Oh, Mario Kart, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Fucking some Star Road bullshit.
As I've mentioned before, I'm really quite new to gaming. My first experience with it being really the Nintendo Switch, and so I got the Mario Kart 8, which is really, really fun. I never thought I'd like a racing game, but I love it. But you know, I've had a few friends come over and play it with me, or I've done the online play, and it's just enraging sometimes when you get hit with the what are they?
The shells.
Blue shells?
The
Yeah.
shell.
Yeah, the shells.
Well, specifically the blue one, though. When you're in the lead and you've managed to shake off the second place guy for X number of fucking minutes, and then finally the last place person gets a blue shell and you only lose because last place fucked you. Yeah, man. That shit is enraging. I get it.
I used to love playing racing games like Gran Turismo and shit like that, and then when you get to the point where you start losing so bad that you just give up and then just turn around and go backwards to just fucking hit and head on whoever was in the lead.
Oh, dude, we used to do that when my buddy Corey and we used to play NASCAR 1998, and one of us would drive backwards and the other one would drive forwards, and we would ensure that we could win.
By the way, NASCAR 98 should have gotten an Oscar and a Grammy for its wonderful fucking soundtrack of one song, which was Molly Hatchet's Flirtin' with Disaster. It would play just over and over and over and over again.
I'm traveling down the road and I'm flirting with disaster.
This tournament was Madden 19 that this guy shut up, and I have not played Madden 19. The last Madden I played was Madden 18 last year, but a Madden from my childhood was Madden 04, where Michael Vick was the most overpowered character in the game, and he could literally outrun everyone, no matter like what you did, and whoever got Michael Vick in competitive mode would just pretty much win every time. And so that would be rage-inducing to the other side.
My football game of choice was like way back in the PS1 or 2 days. I think it might have been PS2. But it was NFL Fever 2001. And man,
was that the street one?
No, it wasn't the street one, but like it was just not as hung up on a lot of the technical aspects as the Madden games. And being from South Carolina, like, you could really make a run for it with the Panthers back then. Even though the team actually sucked, they had Biaka Patuka, and he was just fucking phenomenal in that game. And what a better name. I mean, find somebody with a better name.
I'm looking at these NFL Fever graphics, and they're a bit rough, I'll be honest.
The AI was even better, dude. Like, this one play, the ball spiked, and then you could kind of rewind everything after the play had gotten over and see what, like, all the different players did. And so the ball spiked, and we went for, like, a Hail Mary pass and got sacked. And so we go through the rewind to see where it all went wrong. And literally 2 of our linemen just sat down before they were engaged with the other team's linemen. They just fucking sat down. I don't know how that even gets programmed into a game, but
I sent a picture to the chat of NFL 04 Fever, and that quarterback looks like he's 300 pounds. And that just does not look right graphically. And I think that's David Carr.
No, that's fantasy football. So, Wes, I gather that you didn't like it where the Jordan Peterson interview went.
Oh, he's an unpredictable man, you know. You really can't trust those psychological types. It's fine.
Hey, Wesley, did you enjoy my part of the interview? I'm going to take that as a no.
Oh, Alex.
So is this podcast going to end ever, or is this just going to keep on like this?
I've only been on 30 minutes of this episode because I had my struggles of the audio initially, and Wesley had kicked me out like the dictator that he is.
No. We are at an hour and 11 minutes.
So I just got fucking zucked.
Really?
Because of my the meme that I shared about Osama bin Laden.
What was it?
Having it was basically something along the lines of like, Osama bin Laden was a war hero and he fought against the Soviets, and even though I disagreed with a lot of his opinions, I want him to rest in peace. And so apparently I'm zucked from Facebook for a little while. So hooray!
Well, do you have an alt or?
No, I'm not a pussy. I post things under my name.
That might be a subtle, not so subtle shot at someone.
Well,
I'll be back in 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah, he has risen.
That's not too bad.
Unfortunately, John McCain will not be
Could we admire the scars?
Some people's passion is like, carrying a cross while wearing a crown of thorns, like, multiple miles, and then getting strung up on it to die over a period of several days. And some other people's passion is getting sucked from Facebook over a meme. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
I mean, I personally feel like I was venerating the late great Senator McCain. If you think about it, I was making sure that people knew that just because you disagree with a person,
yeah.
Oh my hell! Okay. I think that finishes things up for tonight. Would you guys like to plug your social medias?
Hold on, let me see if I can fart into the microphone real quick.
Oh yes,
that is where you usually find Tim.
What we need.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Ida Grab Your Gun, since clearly you can't follow me on Facebook for 3 days. So, hooray!
Yep, you can find me at Chris Riley LCP at Twitter, or the @ goes before. I'm still kind of new to it. Fuck it, you guys know what I mean. And then
go to shrewdrew.com. Drew Shrew, Drew Shrew, Shrew Juju Shrew.
Drew's Shoes.
Yes, JewShrewSmithSchuster.com. Yep, that's Alex's stuff. He's muted. I don't know.
And for me, you know, I had an Instagram account. You know, I was enjoying it, but for some reason, they banned it, and I can't even find it now, which is terrible, because I was really having fun with it, you know, getting into Instagram. So you can find me on Facebook at Wesley Ian Sullivan, or you can follow the Lost Context podcast Instagram. What's the official handle for that?
At Lost Context Pod C.
Okay.
Because we wanted to make it as obtuse as possible.
That's what happens when you leave things up to me.
Okay, well, that wraps it up tonight, gentlemen. Thank you for all being on, and we'll catch you next time on episode 34.
If you want to search online for the Lost Context podcast, here are the places you can find us: Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube also occasionally has video content beyond just the podcast episodes, as does IGTV. You can follow us on social media as well. We have a Facebook page, Chris posts funny things to the Twitter, and we all post memes and updates on our Instagram account. If you want to support the show, you can pledge any amount of money at patreon.com/lostcontext. And don't forget to check out our D&D podcast, which features storytelling in a homebrewed world with cowboys, magic, vampires, orcs, voice acting, and original music. Search for LCP D&D on any of the aforementioned platforms. LCP D&D, which of course stands for Lost Context Podcast Dungeons & Dragons. Last of all, you should come hang out with us in our CLC Facebook group. Sometimes it's hidden, so if you would like to join, feel free to shoot us a message on any of our media platforms, and we'll get you in. We have a lot of fun photoshopping each other, making memes, having political discussions, and we even have movie nights, jukebox hangouts, and other events over Discord. Whew. Who knows? You two could end up on this podcast. So that's all for this episode. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey Brian, when you're listening to this is an audio file, and you don't know where it syncs because it's just random and weird, but you're stupid and bald, and you listen to this because it's also tied with the rest of the podcast audio. So how's it going, man? You having a good time editing the show? Is it a couple days later, or is it good old, what do you call it? Brian only wanted other people to host so that he can do dickhead things. Bum 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 bum-a-ran. Bum 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 bum-a-ran. Bum 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 bum-a-ran. We got a bum-a-ran. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Helen Keller Power Hour, where Brian has to take a bunch of audio that hasn't been recorded at the same time and piece it together and make a show. Can he do it? I mean, I don't know. But it sounds like something that would be up his little fucking weird alley type thing. Boo-boo-boo. Why'd you guys kick out Alex?